Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, and today I've got some scout helicopter gameplay to show you guys. So it's Paracel Storm yet again. I know the last jet domination wasn't Paracel Storm, sorry about that. It just seems that I have some good rounds on this particular map. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the map, but whatever it is, things work out well for me on this map. So I'm around C flag at the moment, trying to hold things down, and loadout wise, I'm using the 25mm gun pods. A lot of you will probably be saying, Ghost, why the hell aren't you using these 7.62 miniguns? And well, first of all, my aim is a bit potato in this thing. Most of you will know that I've only really put any serious amount of time into flying the jets in this game. I've mainly stayed away from the helicopters, but this particular round, I just couldn't get my hands on the jet. I don't know why. Somebody else was always taking it. It was always dead. And at the end of the day, I just thought, screw it, man. I'm going in the scout heli. And I actually did better than I thought I would. Now, that's not to say that I'm any kind of pro helicopter pilot, so don't think that. I'm sure many of you guys are far more skilled than I am. But nevertheless, I thought I'd upload the footage here and just do a little commentary over the top with some thoughts about vehicles in Battlefield 4 and the scout helicopter in particular. So I've sort of been harassing the C flag there. And sort of jumping between that and this carrier. That transport heli's just dropped a couple of guys off, so I made an effort to clean them up so they wouldn't cap the flag there. Now we're back over at the C flag, and this building in the middle is definitely a hot spot for infantry, so you always want to make sure that you're strafing that particular target. You know, I think the other flags you can see at the moment, we have A, D, and E, so it's really B and C flags that I'm trying to hold down. I think that's generally a good tactic in the helicopters. You don't want to be flying all over the map the same way that you do in the attack jet or the stealth jet. You really just want to be bouncing between one or two objectives that the enemy are constantly trying to take and just locking them down, making it hard, giving the infantry a hard time, you know. So other than the 25 mils here, and you see them, they really do pack a punch, these things. The 7.62s are very good. If you can be accurate enough, you know, they're the skill cannon, I suppose. If you get straight on the target, they're really going to deal the damage, but then again, you actually have to hit the target. There's no splash, whereas the 25 mils have a considerable amount of splash damage, so you can actually keep a significant amount of range from the target, which helps with not getting RPG'd, I have found. And you can see the trench down there. You've already seen me get a few kills in there. That's really all thanks to the splash damage. The 7.62s wouldn't have been able to kill people in there as easily, so I find they work pretty well on this map. That being said, the 7.62s, of course, shred enemy vehicles the same way the 20 mils do on a stealth jet or on the AA tank, for example. So if you're going up against the enemy scout helicopter, attack heli, any kind of lightly armoured vehicle, really, the 7.62s are going to be the way to go. Other than that, of course, I am flying with stealth coating, just to delay enemy lock-ons, and of course, good old ECM. Now, I kind of had a little duel with this guy here. You can really identify the different classes in Battlefield 4 well, you know. I find that as soon as an engineer pulls out his launcher, it's very, very obvious, and you can see in the chat there just what he thinks of me. I'm not sure if I should be insulted or take it as a compliment. I'm going to take that one as a compliment, I think. Yeah, that's something that I've heard aka Art, another YouTuber, comment on before, and it really hit home to me, you know. In the newer Battlefield games, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, class identification isn't really as strong as it is on BF4, while I just land here to quickly repair my chopper and then get back in. But in BF4 and BF3, if you see an engineer, you're going to identify him, even though you're in a helicopter and you're quite a distance from him. You can see the iconic launcher on his back. He's looking at you, so you're able to preemptively dodge out of the way of the RPG or the small or whatever it may be. And that's definitely something I feel they need to bring back in the newer Battlefield games. I honestly couldn't care less for the different skins and all of that. I'd rather there just be one universal skin for each class so that I can easily identify who I'm going up against. You know, when they have all these myriad of different skins, it becomes difficult to tell the difference. So one of the big differences I'm finding here, guys, playing in a helicopter versus the jets, is just the different movement mechanics. I suppose, you know, thinking about the jet, your main advantage is your speed, right? You can't really go left or right particularly quickly if you're diving in for a strafe, but you are going very fast, which means it's difficult to RPG you, it's difficult to small you, and you're essentially going that fast that if somebody locks you, you pop ECM, and then you're going to be out and away from the area of combat before anybody can lock you again, and there you just repair up, wait for your ECM to replenish, nice and easy. Whereas in the helicopter, you can't really do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're not slow, but you can't fly away from the combat zone as quickly as a jet can. So if you have several infantry down on the ground and they're all trying to lock you, you can't ECM and then just fly out over the open water, because they'll just simply wait till ECM drops and then lock you again. So I found what works for me is trying to essentially hide behind cover. There is no under radar, of course, in BF4, which I know a lot of helicopter pilots complain about, and I do as well as a jet pilot, and I honestly think they should bring it back for the next Battlefield game. If I recall correctly, when they were asked, when DICE were asked why they took under radar out of the game for BF4, it's because people didn't understand it and it seemed too complicated. I think DICE by now, you should know what kind of people are playing this game, and I'm pretty sure they can understand the simple mechanic like under radar. Now, I was getting locked there, and that guy with the sniper, I saw him facing me. I kind of mistook him until he scoped in and I saw his scope glint for an engineer, so that's why I was going for that guy. Unfortunately, the guy who was locking me was to my right, so I managed to land here, and often landing, even though you are close to some enemies, can be the best thing, because if you're spotted up and you jump out of your helicopter, the spot will disappear, so most of the enemies will assume that you've died, right? So I was able to get a quick repair in there, and now I am indeed using that rock formation to hide behind and just line of sight those lock-ons. That's definitely another big advantage of the helicopters I'm finding, is the fact that you can indeed land and repair. Not really very easy in a jet. Possible, yes. Easy, no. Got a couple of heat seekers on the helicopter there. Unfortunately, I completely forgot to reload my guns, and there I just ate a TV missile to the face from that attack boat. So hats off to him there. Got a sneaky little respawn on E flag here, which we happen to be holding. So if you do hold E flag, there is a scout helicopter to be had there. So you can actually have two up for your team at any given time. Got the transport coming in here, and I'm trying to get a lock on him. He's of course flared off already, and just as I get a lock, he drops those two guys out, so they're going to get finished off here by me. I have to say, I'm really enjoying getting sort of down and dirty with the infantry, for lack of a better metaphor here. You know, in the attack jet, you're very far from the battle. You can strafe tanks and you're strafing enemy vehicles and whatnot, but when it comes to attacking infantry, they're so hard to see. You're maybe, you know, dropping a JDAM from the stratosphere, maybe not the stratosphere, okay, Ghost, but, you know, from the sky, and it just really isn't very personal, whereas the scout helicopter, you see that guy almost RPG'd me there. It's like a rush, man. It's such dynamic gameplay. One of the biggest strengths of the scout helicopter is its agility, and you're just so responsive, and it really turns you know, dodging enemy RPGs and s'mores into this mini game, because they're essentially guessing which way you're going to turn, and your job as a scout heli pilot is to be unpredictable. So I've discovered that is a big part of staying alive, identifying which infantry soldiers are locking onto you and actually taking them out, making sure that you kill those guys with the s'mores and the RPGs before they get you, and timing the reloads. As an infantry player, you know the timing of the reload of the weapons, so once they fired an RPG, you know you have a couple of seconds to shoot at them before you need to be making evasive maneuvers again and getting the hell out of dodge. And I think all these things just really show some of the depth that the vehicles in Battlefield 3 and 4 had, especially the helicopters. I think it will be a real shame if there are no helicopters with these sorts of movement mechanics included in the new Battlefield game. But we are coming to the end of the video here, guys. I actually have a bunch more helicopter footage, attack helicopter footage, as well as scout heli footage, and I was going to include it all in one video, but it would have been way too long. So let me know if this kind of commentary style is something that you guys have enjoyed. I can always do more of this. I do enjoy doing the live comms as well, but obviously I'm only really half concentrating on the gameplay if the other half of my concentration is spent on the commentary. So it's definitely easier for me to just commentate on the round after the fact, and probably a little bit more insightful for you guys as well. So leave me your thoughts down below, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed and a dislike if you didn't. Have a lovely, lovely day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ow.
Na na na.